So, Scott Galloway is sounding a major alarm about the AI market. Let's break down his warning. Think about this. Since ChatGPT dropped, the AI story is behind a whopping 80% of stock market gains.
Galloway's point is clear. So if OpenAI is the linchpin, we've got to look at it a lot closer. This is not your grandma's diversified portfolio. It's a huge bet on just a handful of players. Get this, just 10 companies now make up 40% of the entire value of the S&P 500.
So let's zoom in on OpenAI, the company at the heart of all this. The numbers are wild.
Okay, so they're pulling in a cool $13 billion a year. Sounds great, right? But hold on. Yeah, they're spending more than double that, over $26 billion, just to keep the lights on.
Galloway's co-host, Ed Elson, doesn't mince words. He calls it a total financial train wreck.
And it gets crazier. Sam Altman's future plans, they're facing a $1.2 trillion funding gap.
You can tell the leadership is feeling the heat. I mean, the CFO even mentioned a taxpayer bailout.
And look, it's not just Galloway. Other big names in finance are seeing the same red flags.
Take this chart from Apollo Global. All the growth, it's basically just the Magnificent Seven.
Even Jamie Dimon, a guy who never panics, is saying, yeah, this looks like a bubble. But he makes a really key point. Some AI has proven value, but the jury's still out on generative AI. So what's the pin that could pop this bubble? Galloway calls it a narrative shock. It's that moment when everyone stops believing the story, all at once. And here's the potential trigger. It starts when CFOs ask, hey, what's our ROI on this AI stuff? And nobody has an answer. This is what Galloway calls jazz hands. All flash, but maybe not a whole lot of substance behind it. So what happens if that narrative shock actually hits? Well, the fallout could be pretty bad. Galloway's description for what happens next to investors is, well, it's pretty brutal. And here's the kicker. With the market this top-heavy, your old diversification playbook might not work. His final warning is as stark as it gets. If that OpenAI story crumbles, there's just nowhere to hide. Now, this isn't financial advice, but the signs are there. It really makes you think, what's your plan?